I was concerned about you. I can't be concerned.
Don't be mucus shaming.
Black people.
Mucus shaming. That's hilarious.
And gross.
Uh, all the symptoms just left.
Respiratory shaming? I don't know.
Variant shaming.
I do not have the variant.
You don't know that. Anyway, welcome to the reason, y'all.
COVID test. I had it.
4 days ago. You don't know what you picked up between then and now.
Be a little bit more positivity out of you.
This is the podcast where the three of us try to talk about at least 3 topics each week. And the three of us, in case you didn't know, are our point person and optimistic realist. We call her Star.
I'm still alive, people.
Barely.
Whatever.
And the center of our threesome, our voice of reason, we call him Magic.
Happy anniversary to somebody. Tell them serious.
Grumpy ass old man.
I think
Okay,
it's the
sorry.
environment he was raised in.
Probably. Anyway, do you want me to start from the top or?
I mean, I could chop it up if necessary.
Is that a yes or no?
Up to you, sweet cheeks.
Did he call me sweet cheeks?
Yes.
You said that like it's cute.
It was.
It was you.
Okay. Anyway, bringing up the rear as always, I identify as the pragmatic contrarian of the group. They call me Storm.
AKA sour cheeks.
You called me. Wow. You okay?
Yes.
Breathing is fundamental.
You called me sweet cheeks a minute ago. How I soured so quickly.
Because apparently you ain't like sweet cheeks, so.
And you thought I'd like sour cheeks?
No.
Okay. Well, just wondering, because that was a weird explanation. Anyway.
Sweet cheeks.
What? My doctor seems to think I'm sweet cheeks, or I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I think my doctor hit on me. I'm not sure.
What did it? How did it?
Are we
okay.
talking to gynecologist?
No, my
Oh,
internist, my main doctor.
Okay.
Okay, so a couple of years ago, like before COVID hit, I guess the last time I saw him, I don't know, it's been a while. I went in there, and as I was leaving, he asked for my phone, so I gave him my phone. He put in his phone number, or his cell phone number. He put in his cell phone number and told me he was giving me his cell phone number. He doesn't give it to everybody, and to call him if I needed him, which I thought was weird because I'm not that sick, right?
When you need an emergency checkup.
Yeah, I'm not that sick, and I was telling my coworker at the time, my coworker was like, I think he's hitting on you. I'm like, no, I think he's just being nice, and maybe I'm like, maybe I'm sicker than, I give myself credit for it, I don't know. But I couldn't conceive of a reason why I would need to call him on his cell phone and not call his office.
He's trying to make house calls.
So then, this week, because I haven't been there because of COVID. And this week he called me. He personally called me, not his office. He called, and he wanted to know if I was planning to make an appointment. And I told him, yeah, eventually. and we were talking, and then he said, or he said, yeah, he said, I wanted to catch up with you, make sure everything's okay. He was like, if you don't want to come into the office, like we can meet for dinner or something. And I was like,
Oh
huh? I was,
wow!
Pulling up
I was
from
like,
30.
Is he cute?
She said,
I
man,
mean,
this
he's all
pretty good
right.
personality.
He's not my, he's not really my type, but he's all right.
What makes him not your type?
He just isn't.
Pulse.
He just isn't. I mean, he's a cool dude. I mean, he's cool, but I just had never thought of him in that way. You know what I mean?
Mm.
He's not the type of guy I would think of in that way. But I mean, also, I always thought he was married. So I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, I just thought it was weird that he would say that,
You should call him and see what's up. Like,
huh? Maybe my coworker was onto something. Maybe she was right.
Uh, duh.
But
yeah.
yeah, so there's that.
So, Star, has your doctor ever called you directly?
Yes, but
But was it good news?
it wasn't bad news. It was like, you know, just checking up on me because I had a rough pregnancy.
Yeah, I
Mm,
can see that. But never know, like, hey, you coming for your appointment? I'm saying,
Right.
be
Or can
here.
we go to dinner? No.
yeah, I mean, it was weird. She was like, "Well, if you don't want to come into the office, we can meet for dinner or something." I was like, I thought that was kind of weird because I'm like, "How are you going to examine me over dinner?" But
Thoroughly.
wow.
Look. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
So you're saying the dude is not unattractive. He's a
No,
doctor. Clearly, he's got a good career going. You're saying he's pretty cool and he's unattractive because
I didn't say he's unattractive.
you said not your style.
I said he's not my type. That doesn't mean he's unattractive. It just means I never looked at him in that way. I don't know. He's my doctor. I mean, I need him to write me prescriptions and such.
I mean, you can get the hookup at this point.
I mean, I'm not that sick, or at least not that I know of. Maybe that's
Good
his
morning.
issue. Okay. Well, anyway, that's neither here nor there. So, what are we talking about this week? Because that went left.
Go give your doctor a shot.
Wow.
Yes. I agree.
And it
Why?
is a conflict of interest, but if all else fails, you can switch doctors.
Why would I want to switch doctors? It took me a long time to find this one. I mean,
And it took
you know,
him a long time to find you. Some things
ay,
were meant to
Dios
be.
mío.
But don't test.
Whatever. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. No, I told him I'd call him next week, so I'll call him
You
next week.
go, girl.
Yes.
I meant to make an appointment.
Oh, brother.
Once again, fellas, being actually good doesn't work.
Again, I don't even know if the man is married because I swore he was married.
They
I,
got
I,
whole rings to show off that shit. Marriages end.
well, that is true. So
Uh-uh.
anyway, I wanted to talk to a friend of mine is dating a guy that just got out the pen.
So he's in shape.
I don't know. I'm assuming, but I mean, he's also older, and he has been in for a minute.
Are we
What's a
talking
So
over
minute?
a decade?
I think over a decade.
That stunts your growth.
I don't know what he did because she didn't tell me.
Mm-hmm.
The
I believe
norm.
I believe I asked and I didn't get an answer, so I'm assuming it was something heinous and violent.
I mean, if you
But
Mm,
I
did over a decade, you did something.
right, but I don't know that for a
mhm.
fact. Um, and here's where I'm having a problem
Okay.
because in theory, I don't like to judge people, who have done their time and come out on the other side because, in
Shit
theory.
happens.
However, I don't know if this is a wise thing to do. What y'all think?
Why not?
It would really be dependent on what he was in for.
And whether or not he was rehabilitated while in there. Some people
Well,
come out of jail with the mentality of "fuck it, I'm wild," and another ones come out with the mentality of "okay, I'm never going back."
right. I don't know. I don't know. I just find it a very, like, morally, I'm wrestling with it because, like, I want to tell her to run,
Okay.
but on the other hand, I mean that's not right either, right?
How does she meet him?
She told me she's known him. She told me that they have been talking. So I'm assuming that she was writing to him while he was in prison. She said she's known him
Oh
for
no!
years.
Modern times, you can have a phone and social media while you in the beam.
Well,
Really?
Yes.
depending on where you are.
Yeah. True.
She says she's known him for years. So we had a very short conversation because I wanted to ask her, did that mean that she knew him before he went in, or if she met him somehow while he was in prison? Because that's not unheard of.
True.
One of my friends was in prison. I wonder. I was going to say I wonder if he's still there, but he's either still there or he's dead because he was in for life. I should look him
Oh
up.
wow.
In for life or a life sentence. That's two different things.
Both life
Mm,
without life without the possibility.
Oh well, then
mm.
that's a life.
Yes.
What did he do?
He murdered his girlfriend and
Oh my god.
chopped her up in little pieces and tried
Oh
to
my
burn her
god.
body. Yeah.
I
Nice
can't
guy though.
imagine.
I mean, he was always nice to me.
Hear that, lawyer?
I was gonna say, how nice could he be?
There are certain times where your nerves can be worked that you consider some truly fucked up shit.
Yeah.
You ain't supposed to do it, but it gets considered.
I mean, not that I condone it, but like I can understand, I guess getting upset enough to where, you do something to hurt somebody depending on the circumstances. I don't condone it. But chopping them up into little pieces is a whole nother level. That's just
Well, I think that was his attempt to, get rid of the remains, and
mm,
then he threw it into, a fire. Think I don't know what he thought that was going to do, except for burn off all the flesh and
Yeah,
hair
burning
and
flesh
stuff.
is a horrid smell, but after you've
Yeah,
already chopped
well,
somebody up, I
luck.
guess there's
I was
more
gonna
important
say,
things to be
luck,
upset
luck.
by.
Yeah, luckily for him, it was out in the sticks, but still, you're not gonna get the bones that way. Is my point. So, um,
not
that's
without
how.
an accelerant.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's how they ended up getting him. So, but I mean, other than that,
Lesson here, bury them hoes. Anyway.
Mm,
I mean, he was always nice to me. I'll say that. Even after he went to prison, he was always nice to me.
mm.
That's the biggest thing I would tell your friend to worry about is I haven't been to prison. I've been to jail a few times, but Obviously, I hung around a lot of criminals growing up, and while you're locked up, you love absolutely every chick you talk to.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was gonna say. There's a difference between conversations you have with someone while they're in
Mm-hmm.
and how they act when they get out.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, usually. But again, I don't know what dude went in for. I don't know the circumstances. I mean, hell, he could, you know, he could very well be innocent of the charge. I don't know. Like I don't know anything about it, but I just found it a little disturbing how harshly I judge dude without knowing anything about him. You know what I mean?
Mm. So you're kind of checking yourself a little.
Yeah, because I don't know. It's like you get indoctrinated over your life. Like
Mm-hmm.
someone's been in prison. You're like, oh Lord, what the hell you do?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta meet them and feel them out.
Yeah, that is true. But I watch a lot of true crime, so I, my eyebrows are raised.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
It really doesn't
So he's
because
out already?
yeah, he's out and
Okay.
he
Nigga
wants to
not been
come.
locked up for over 10 years, Dick. Let her live.
Well, he wants to come stay with her. Right now,
Oh no.
he's staying at his mama house, and he want to come stay with her. And she was like, "Well, do you think I should let him?" And I'm like,
Yeah, that's a little
"Lord,
much.
I don't know that is something you ought to be doing at this moment."
No.
It ain't
No.
even the fact that he's fresh out of prison. You don't do that with no grown ass man.
Right? I'm like, let his mama hold him for a minute, cause
Right.
you know.
And then you got to deal with him reacclimating himself to society and all of that. Like,
Hmm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really easy to move somebody in, and it's real hard to throw their asses
Get
out.
their ass out. Right.
Yeah, particularly if they have a history. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So you
Yeah.
got to be real careful about how you tell somebody you want them up out your place.
well, that's true too.
Gotta make sure he wasn't locked up for chopping up his ex.
Right.
Oh, leave my boy.
Okay, while we're on it, my topic is signs of an abusive relationship. No
Mm.
correlation necessarily. Hopefully. Good luck, man.
Right.
Okay. I'm reading off of some website. I don't want to give them props because they ain't paying us. So
Right.
it says this can help if your partner tries to control your behavior, your partner threatens to harm you, your pets, or people you love, or you're scared of your partner.
I wish a motherfucker would try to threaten my dog. Oh, go ahead.
Damn you, it's the dog.
No, I
Okay.
mean,
Key signs of an abusive relationship. An abusive relationship isn't
He
just
knocks your teeth out. No, I'm just sorry. Go
answer.
ahead.
An abusive relationship isn't just limited to physical violence. It can include sexual, emotional, and physical abuse and may involve control of your finances. Here are some signs to look for. One,
mm,
possessiveness. The
mm-hmm.
breakdown, they check on you all the time to see where you are, what you're
What
doing,
I
and who
just
you're with.
what I say the other week, and y'all fussing
Yeah.
at me talking about I'm being ridiculous.
In some cases. Also, they try to control where you go and who you see and get angry if you don't do what they say.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is jealousy. The breakdown is they accuse you of being unfaithful or flirting, or they isolate you from family and friends, often by behaving rudely to them. Next one is put downs. Breakdown is they put you down either publicly or privately by attacking your intelligence, looks, mental health, or capabilities. They constantly compare you unfavorably to others. They blame you for all the problems in your relationship and for their violent outburst. They say things like, no one else will want you.
Mm.
Next one is threats. They yell or sulk and deliberately break things you value, and they threaten to use violence against you, your family, friends, or pet. What the fuck is with pets? Anyway, and the
Mm.
next one is physical and sexual violence. They push, shove, hit, or grab you, or make you have sex or do things you don't want to do. They harm you or your pets or your family members. So, there's things you might feel in an abusive relationship. One being my partner isn't violent all the time. They love me. I'm not doing the breakdowns. Things will get better. They didn't mean it. Not doing the breakdowns. It's so confusing. I'm sure it's a one off. You ought to know better after the third time. And maybe it's my fault. Stop it. And I'm scared of what will happen if I leave them. So,
Mm.
folks, that is the sign of abusive relationships. Watch who you fucking.
Agreed.
And for the
Yeah.
men listening, all two of y'all, act like your girl ain't done every fucking one of those.
Who? Me?
No, any girl in any relationship ever.
Oh. I'm like, I would never threaten anyone's dog.
No, but you threaten him.
Well,
I'm not saying you're abusive. I'm just saying those are the signs.
Mhm.
I mean, mm,
I have two of my exes right now who are in abusive relationships, and it's crazy to me.
they're being abused or they are abusing.
They they are being abused, and one of them I figure is probably doing some abusing too, like they're abusing one another.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, what's funny about, well, and not funny, haha, but like funny,
Ironic.
odd, you know, about people who are in abusive relationships is that there's no amount of talking to them. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
Yeah,
they
you
ain't
can
leaving
try to
that
convince
relationship.
them to act right, but they gonna go back.
Right. Like there's yeah. Like there's no getting them to leave that relationship until they're ready to leave.
well, because a lot of times there's conditioning that has taken place first. With one of my exes, his current person basically did a lot of the things that you mentioned, isolating them from the family, was the first thing, away from friends and family
Yeah, that's a
Mm.
true
was
sign.
the first thing. um and then it just kind of developed from that point. And I don't know, I'm so surprised that either one of them are dealing with the situations that they're dealing with, but that's them. Wish them the best.
Yeah. A girl I used to work with, and you actually know her, Star, and
Mhm.
she had two kids with this dude, and he was very abusive to the point where one day he came and kicked in the door to where she was living, and of course,
Gave him the
because
4-4.
he was looking for her, and um, because he kicked in the door and knocked the door off the hinges and whatnot, they ended up evicting her and her two kids. So she was homeless, and I felt bad. I was pregnant at the time. I felt bad, and I was like, why don't y'all come stay with me until you find something? She didn't want to press charges against him because, and I quote, if I press charges against him, um, he'll go to jail, lose his job, and then he won't be able to pay child support.
So
Which,
you just invited him to come kick in your door?
oh no. And that's where I was going with that. I was very pregnant at the time. So When I went into labor, she ended up driving me to the hospital, and like the next day, I was still in the hospital. She came to visit me, and she was telling me that he had come over there because he wasn't allowed to come over while I was home. I didn't even know that she had told him where she was. You know, and
Stockholm syndrome.
exactly. So apparently, she told him where he was. She told him where she was, and he came over there while I was in the hospital. While I was still in the hospital. And when she told me that, she said that he had threatened to do something, or I don't know, something at my house. And I told her, I said, well, you just let him know. I ain't collecting no child support from him. I'll see his ass in jail. Like, I don't care. He can act a damn fool in my house if he wants to. But there will be no talking to me and, getting and getting me to feel sorry for him. Because he'll just have his ass in jail. Like, I will not care one way or the other. Don't know, didn't know him, didn't care about him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I'm
so
always get back child support later.
I was just a little bit irritated. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, why would you? First of all, why would you even tell him where you were? Secondly, why would you invite him to my house? So I was irritated by that,
Of
and that's
course.
yeah, and that's when I realized I'm like, you can't help someone that don't want help. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You just can't.
Mm-hmm.
Can't save people from themselves.
You can't.
You can't. I have a friend of mine, and I won't mention the specifics of the situation, but let's just say they said something to me about someone that they just met, maybe about 2 weeks ago, and I was just like, there was part of me that wanted to be like, oh, like, come on, man, like you can't be serious. But then the other part of me was like, it doesn't matter what you say. A person who is all in on a situation, you can't talk to them.
You can't.
You just can't get through to them.
No.
Um, Common sense is just all out the door, and until something happens that kind of serves as a bit of a wake up call, then you aren't going to be able to get through to them, no matter what it is you say.
Yeah.
And some people feel like, if you don't say anything, well, you're being a bad friend. Like you should say something anyway. And it's just like, you kind of, after a while, your people, you
I
know?
mean, hey, baby. I mean, I'm gonna say something, but they ain't gonna listen. you know.
Yeah. I've gotten to the point where I'm just like, let folks live, you have to let folks live and people have to
Yeah,
learn.
well, and that's what
Like
I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna badger you about it, but I will mention it.
I'm
I'll
with you.
say
I
something.
can't hold my tongue that much. I'll be like, yo,
Yeah,
son, that's what we doing. All right,
right.
you wildin',
Yeah,
but do your thing.
yeah. I'm gonna say something, but I'm not gonna sit there and badger you about it. Like, I'm not gonna sit
have
there
a
and
whole lecture.
yeah, like every time I see you, I'm not gonna be like, you need to leave him. You need to leave, because why? Why am I gonna do that? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then they end up looking at you like you the asshole.
Well,
Right.
not just that, I'm wasting my breath.
Yeah.
so,
Hmm.
I'm not doing that. But I will, have a small discussion about it and be like, here's what I think, and like holler at me if you need my help when you need my help, because
Because we'll jump this motherfucker. Anyway,
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just weird and then you also have these people who they don't feel like they're in love unless there's drama.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout
That's
out to
one of
the
my
women who
exes.
thought I'd play along to that shit.
yeah,
Mm-mm. That's one of my exes. If it's going too smooth,
yeah,
it's the whole problem. It's like, really?
yeah, yeah. Kind of sad, but
It's very sad.
yeah. But
Yeah.
what can you do? Because like I said, you can't make anybody do what you want them to do. You just, gotta hope at some point that they, realize grown folks gonna be grown. So it's
Yeah.
only so much you can do. And I mean, I can't fight more for you than you're willing to fight for yourself.
For yourself.
So
Exactly.
I may or may not have put one or two dudes in a half Nelson or a full Nelson a time or
May
two.
or may not have.
A
Just
time or
out here
two.
being abusive.
No, because they were going after somebody, who was a friend of mine, and I may have caught him up in a full Nelson and swung him
Mm-mm.
off my friend. Like I may have
Mm-mm.
done that. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Might try that just to get titties on my back, but okay.
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't happy. As I recall, he swung at me and then looked at me like I was crazy because I didn't fall.
Oh my.
People are funny.
Yes, they are.
So
Okay.
what we talking about, Star?
So, Star, you had some listener questions.
Jesus.
Yeah, so are we doing the questions or the situation first?
Let's do the situation. I like situations.
Okay. So back in the day, well, they asked me to pose it to you all like a what would you do? Okay. So
Okay.
back in the day, you had someone that y'all used to kick it every now and then. The vibe was always good. Um, you spent a lot of time around each other, but nothing really came of it as far as like, anything serious. So you went and got married and were married for a little over 20 some odd years. This person went and got married, but they will be divorced two times now coming up. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, the person who I'm sorry, the woman in the situation, she's getting ready to also divorce her husband. And they pretty much have been apart for about 9 months, and the divorce will be official really soon. Whatever, whatever. And she's looking to start dating again, but she really just doesn't want to be alone. So this is her dilemma. Okay. Should she go back and deal with the old flame and see what's up? Or should she just start fresh and just stick her toe out there? What would you do?
I would stick my toe out there with the old flame with the understanding that, that's just the rebound dude.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably what that would be. He's somebody familiar that I can rebound with safely and, but not have very many expectations out of that situation.
Okay.
Personally, I'd go with familiarity. I champion anybody making it out the friend zone. And you gotta try. You gotta find out if y'all are compatible, if some shit'll work or not. If
It
it don't,
won't.
it don't. We still
But,
cool. If we do, then alright. It was
yeah, that's
a
why I
long
said
time coming.
That's why I
But
said I would have no expectations from that situation because I doubt very seriously that anything would come of it. But,
Why?
well, for one thing, uh, he's been divorced twice. There's a
Mm,
reason
I
for
said
that.
that too. Yeah, I said that too.
I mean,
third time's the charm.
or
Maybe.
or it's just the third time. But yeah, also if they've known each other that long and haven't gotten together like that,
They have gotten together, but they've not gotten.
okay,
Yeah, they've
there's a reason.
physically they've had
There's
physical interaction, but.
Yeah, there's a reason they haven't stayed together. Is my point. And
Well,
Youth and
yeah.
awkwardness.
Hmm?
no, no, it's usually more than that. Even if you can't put your finger on it, there's something that's kept that situation from being more than what it was. You know what I mean?
Well, I will say this because I do know that when they used to kick it back in the day, this was before either one of them had gotten married. However, they were both in relationships with the people that they would later on marry. But they kind of met each other at that point where I don't know if this is going to work out. And so,
Yeah, I wouldn't have too much expectations about that. I mean, I would, you know, no sense in kicking it. I mean, no reason not to kick it.
mhm,
Especially with somebody familiar.
mhm.
But I just wouldn't have much expectation.
Hate is
That's
gonna
kind
hate.
of
Love is gonna love.
where I was with it. I was like, I'm with Magic too. A little bit of like familiarity is cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay,
but
we
just
all single and in our 40s and early 50s. The options out here ain't that damn great. If you got somebody you
no,
already got a connection with, try.
at
Mm,
least try.
yeah. Okay. Sure. But again, I wouldn't have great
Wouldn't
expectations.
get your hopes up.
No, I wouldn't get my hopes up with that. Yeah, I would just treat it as we just kicking it. It just I need to scratch an itch every now and then. You there? You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's how I would treat that relate. I wouldn't try to make it into something that it's not.
Got it.
One of these episodes, we got to discuss your attachment issues.
I don't have attachment issues.
Mm-mm.
I'm not attached. There's no
Yeah.
issue.
Hence, next question.
All right, so that's the listener situation.
Okay.
Okay. Listener questions. They may seem trivial, but I guess to this person, our answers say something about us. Okay. So
Okay.
we'll start with the first one, which is favorite color and why.
Oh, I was waiting for y'all to go.
Fuck. Blue. Baby
Mm,
blue, maybe?
okay.
Sharks in the water. Anyway,
Star.
My favorite color is actually black.
Okay.
power.
Why?
Why my favorite color is black? I don't know, because it's classic and it goes with everything. It's easy.
I mean, that sounds like a perfectly reasonable reason to have black as your favorite color.
Okay.
My favorite color is cerulean.
What?
My favorite color is cerulean. Why?
Tell the niggas who had the
Because
64 box of crayons.
absolutely. Why?
Because
Because it's a nice color, and I also like the word cerulean.
Cerulean. So what is that, like a shade of red?
It's actually a shade of like greenish blue. It's somewhere between the blue and
Cerulean.
green.
can
Yes,
go
cerulean.
aquamarine or something people
No,
knew.
no, cerulean. I like it because it's an S sound and it's a C word. I like the word. Cerulean is a good word. I like it. I like the color. It's my favorite.
You are on a level of nerd that is just so sexy and wrong at the same time.
I don't understand how it's wrong, but okay. Siri, stop barking at fireworks.
Cerulean. Mm,
Man,
yeah.
Google
Cerulean.
that, motherfuckers.
Grew up in the hood. We only had the box of 16.
Man, I had the 8.
You had the 8 crayons.
Yepper.
Mm, I mean, you at least need the 24.
think we
Listen,
had some
some of
24s.
us had
Yeah.
lower income conditions coming up.
Mm.
I'm not sure what all my mother. Well, I do know what all my mother was doing, but yeah, we had school clothes and shit.
But clearly, cerulean was in that 108 box
It was
of
in the big.
cereal.
It actually was in the big box.
Okay. So,
Bowling.
this next question may seem silly, and it is, but whatever. How long did your mother lie about your age going to the buffet? How old were you when she stopped?
Ooh,
That's easy. My mother never lied
maybe
about my
12.
age going to the buffet.
Really? Okay.
No.
Rich
First
people
of all,
problem.
no. First of all, I don't. I'm not a buffet person.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm just not. Because I don't like a whole bunch of people touching food that I'm gonna eat. So I'm not a buffet person. I don't
Okay.
like people hovering over it and all that. The only buffet that I like, well, never mind. We'll get into that. I mean, we don't have to get into that. Y'all can answer the question.
Okay. Magic.
I don't even remember the question at this point. What was it?
What age were you when your mom started
Oh, I
lying
said
about your
like
age?
12, which was weird because I was always tall for my age.
Okay.
Ah,
So you really couldn't get away with it for very long.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I always had the baby face, but no, I was always tall and narrow as hell.
okay. Well, I was about 15. I
hmm.
was probably about 15 when my grandmother stopped lying about my age. I was short. I'm only 5'4" now, 5'4" and a half. So, um,
Which is
yeah,
fine.
I was always short and had a baby face, and so she could get away with it a little longer. With me. Um,
People assumed that I was young, like well into my 20s, and it was annoying.
yeah, it's crazy because I just maybe over like the past 10 years, and I can't say that I don't feel some kind of way about it because at the same time they stopped carding me, they started calling me ma'am.
Right,
Ugh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
right, yeah,
But it's been probably about the last maybe 8 to 10 years. I'll say more like 8, where they just stopped asking me for my card. I mean, my ID for buying liquor. And it's like, come on, man, are you serious?
right.
But now it's like I want them to ask, and it's like, oh, ma'am, here you go. I'm like, no, don't call me ma'am. But anyway,
Yeah, one of my friends and I, we went to a wedding in in Sierra Vista, Arizona, one time. We drove to Sierra Vista for this wedding, so we had to stay in the hotel there, and she went up, to get the hotel room, and I was standing behind her, and she was going to pay for the hotel room, and she asked the guy, how much, is the hotel room, and he looked at me, and he was like, oh, well, she's under 12, right? And I started, that was very offensive to my 24-year-old soul. So I started to say something, and she stomped on my foot real hard. I was like, how? And then
I
she
like that
said,
shit.
so swiftly, so calmly, yes. I was like, and then after the fact, I mean, I understood why she did it, but I was like, "Would you stop on my foot?" She was like, "Because I felt you about the protest about how you worked on 12." I'm like,
you gonna mess up our discount.
right, right, pretty much. Because I guess kids stayed for free, you know. So, but yeah, I was not happy about being called 12.
I mean, I know this is off the topic, but I never understood why some hotels charge per person. It's like,
Right, it's a room.
it's a room.
Yes.
It's just another way to get money from people.
Yeah,
But
it's stupid.
okay, so if you have a spirit animal, what is it?
I might have to marinate on this one for a second.
Okay.
Okay, I have a few, so I don't know if I can choose. Um,
Your top two.
my top two, um, a chimpanzee and a dog.
Okay.
Racist. But a
Why am
spider.
I racist?
We're not comparing black folks to apes or monkeys, but whatever. I'm gonna go with a spider. Cool, calm, calculated. Don't go chase your food. Let it come to you.
I did
Hmm.
not compare black people to an ape. I said the ape was my spirit animal.
Listen,
I like
that's an opinion
chimpanzees.
statement.
For the record, when I said like chimpanzees, and I don't distinguish between the common chimpanzee, the pan troglodytes, and the other chimpanzees, which are the pan paniscus. I like them both, but I'd say I don't know. The, I don't know, probably the troglodyte if I had to choose. Y'all don't care which species of chimpanzee. I know, but it matters to people who are chimpanzee and ape enthusiasts. It matters.
Hmm.
Star is like whatever.
Hmm. No, I mean I was just listening to you.
Yeah, and I was immediately associating troglodytes with cavemen, but okay.
Um, yeah, I don't know why people like to call cavemen troglodytes, but no, that is the species, the genus of chimpanzee is Pan, and there's one species that's a troglodytes, and the other one is Paniscus.
Well,
If anyone cares.
that's all right. I look, I hear you.
And,
So
and this is just one example of the useless information I have swimming by in my head that does no one any good. So
You can
there
go
you
on
go.
Jeopardy.
Sure.
yeah. So my spirit animal is the South African cheetah.
Okay. Why the South
Very
African
specific.
as opposed?
To the northwest or the
Yes.
Asiatic. Um, the South African cheetah. Um, his ability to adapt into. I'm sorry.
I hear the baby.
1 second. Sorry. Okay, honey. Okay. The fireworks are scaring her.
Oh.
Um,
Keep in
and they,
mind, this is recorded on the second. What the fuck is wrong with y'all shooting off fireworks?
right.
Oh, they've been please. People around here
Oh
be
no,
shooting
they
off
doing it here
fireworks.
too, but fuck is wrong with you fucking idiots?
Yeah, they be shooting. They were shooting off fireworks like days ago. Like it's been at least a week where they've
Well,
been.
this is the first day over here, and she
Oh well,
doesn't like it.
yeah. Well, I'm right in the middle of like all the little suburbs. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I get to hear everybody's.
Yeah, this is their first day over
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, you were on the phone with me when I walked out the door the other day, remember? And it
Hmm.
sounded like they were right outside my door.
Hmm. Okay, and so South African cheetah is mine, and then the last question, listener question is, and I think we've done this before, but just in case, favorite position, Magic, go.
When she's on her stomach, laying flat, legs closed, hitting it from the back. Pussy, not ass, for the record.
Okay, that clarifies. Um, Storm, go.
Um, well, when I used to care about such things, because I don't anymore.
Inside
I
is
mean,
good.
what?
Inside is good.
I just, I don't want any part of any of that. But when I used to care about such things, I was a reverse cowgirl type of person.
Why does that not surprise me?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't really need to look at you. Matter of fact, I could be looking. Matter of fact, I could be watching the game or whatever. Honestly.
Oh, that's hilarious. Um, Mine is, I mean, one leg up, doggy style. Let's get it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. See, you could be watching the game too.
And that's the last of our listener questions.
Shout out to whoever sent that. Yeah, nasty.
I know.
Right. Yes.
We're just going to refer to him as Pops.
That just kills
Aw.
the whole vibe. But okay.
But you thought it was a woman?
Probably.
No, but just
No.
pops is creepy.
Pops is creepy?
Yeah.
Mm, okay.
Well,
You be calling dudes daddy. Man, with you.
Yeah, I don't do that.
no, I didn't say daddy. You said Pops.
Mm. Do I know this person?
No.
No. How fascinating.
No. He listened to our podcast and thought that we were hilarious and intriguing as our
Mm.
as individual characters.
So that's three men. Appreciate your pops. Although I'm weird calling another dude that. But yeah.
Well, he's old
Well,
enough for it not to be weird.
I was
Listen,
gonna
I don't call
say he
my
did.
papa pops. Fuck out of here.
Well, I was gonna say, you're not calling him Boppy, so you
Nah,
know
that's just way too far.
that would be weird.
Aye, puppy.
You can
But
only get
yeah,
called Poppy respectively if you own a bodega.
Uh-uh.
mm, okay.
East Coast rules, son.
Oh well, um, Southwest rules. There's a couple people you can call Poppy. So, but anyway, um, is that it?
That's it.
That ought to
I
be
can go.
enough.
I can go walk the dog.
Walking it down.
Are you gonna do that every time I say I'm going to walk the dog? Yeah. But yeah, I guess I'll call the doctor back next week and make an appointment because
Hit him
I
up.
Get
yeah,
yours.
no, I don't think that that's wise. But
Able to get some free advanced health care.
I do need to re up my prescription. So
So you can get
there's
re up
that.
dick in your life.
Aye. I'm so
Why?
jealous.
See,
The orgasms.
mm, or not, or lack thereof.
Yeah, so shout out to your local toy distributor. If you like the show, tell a friend, tell a foe, tell a hoe, and if you don't, tell everybody you know. It's the Threesome Podcast on the gram, the Threesome Pod on Twitter. Instagram doesn't allow nudity, but Twitter does. Feel free to send in whatever you like. And bye, niggas.
Bye.
Oh, I'm supposed to say bye. Bye.
That would be
Uh,
nice.
No, I mean, I wasn't really paying attention. I was somewhere else.
What a
Damn.
okay.
You checked out before it was over.
I did. It's a damn shame. All right,
Tell
let me
you.
go. Let me go walk the dog. You go rock a baby,
I'm gonna call
I'm
my
rocking the
kid.
baby now.
and
You said,
you take your ass to sleep so you don't fall asleep on the road.
nah, I'm on a mission.
Mm. All right, bye y'all.
Night.